projected first-rounders in 2031 and 2033. Kawhi makes his return to the Six after leading the Raptors to the organization's first title in 2019. And now that he's back, the Raptors' odds to win the East moved from plus 1,400 to plus 800, currently giving them the third shortest odds to win the conference behind the Celtics and the Knicks. So, David, I turn to you. Does Kawhi, at 35 years old, knowing the injury history, but also knowing the type of player that we've known him to be throughout his career, does he make them the biggest threat in the East to unseat the reigning champion New York Knicks?
Absolutely. I want to go back to that graphic. I don't know how in the world you have Boston as a favorite to win a championship over the New York Knicks. I'm assuming that they think that Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum would even steal. That's utter disrespect to the New York Knicks. I don't know if Vinny put those odds together himself or what. But like when I'm looking at what's going on in the Eastern Conference and the way that some of these other teams have digressed a little bit, and the way that Toronto has just replaced Brandon Ingram, who is not a bad player, with the guy who fits right there and will fill all the holes that Toronto has. Yes, they are absolutely the biggest threat to the New York Knicks. They are the second best team in the Eastern Conference as of today. Of course, people can make different moves, don't even know where LeBron is going. But right now, when you talk about Toronto and their deficiencies, right, they could not score late in the shot clock. Kawhi Leonard's top 10 in scoring when 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Clutch scoring, Kawhi Leonard can do all of that. And then defense, they were already a top-level defense, and you are adding him to a great defense. They are going to cause problems on both ends. I think this is a top 10 offense and a top 5 defense. And when you are that in the Eastern Conference, you can beat anybody.
Yeah. Wendy, how do you see it?
It's July 1st, so it's very hard to rank the Eastern Conference right now. The teams haven't made their moves. We don't know where Jaylen Brown is playing. We don't know where LeBron is playing. There could be another move that happens. So I will say for July 1st, yeah, I got the Raptors right up there, just below the Knicks. The Pistons have got me scratching my head today, Courtney, because they're signing John Collins. Nice player. The Pistons off-season acquisitions. You know, the Pistons didn't do anything in midseason this year because they wanted to watch this team and they wanted to sort of save their bullets for a bigger move later on. They end up having a very disappointing second-round cash out, and their off-season moves have been to replace Tobias Harris with John Collins and to trade for Isaiah Joe. I mean, I'm a little bit more impressed with Kawhi Leonard being upgraded to the roster, to the Raptors at this point. So if I'm the Pistons, I don't know how I'm feeling about Kawhi Leonard going to Toronto. And I'm like, well, we got John Collins. I mean, no offense to him, but he's not a needle mover. Kawhi Leonard's a needle mover. The big
50, 40, 90. He doesn't turn the ball over. He makes his free throws. He takes good, smart shots. There's nobody better, honestly. Maybe Jalen Brunson in the Eastern Conference, whose hands you want the ball in the last 5 seconds of the shot clock. They are a legitimate threat in the Eastern Conference, and they make themselves a home for future transactions both this summer and at the trade deadline because you have that guy locked up.
Yeah, and as Wendy just said, he's expecting a 9-figure deal. We know one thing about players when they're in a contract year, they tend to be on the court a lot more often. That's good news for
2016 in Cleveland. Period. It's not a debate. He would say this in half of a second, okay? Winning that championship where he went from being the biggest villain of his hometown ever to the biggest sports hero of his hometown ever, beating the 73-win team and doing it in a legacy fashion the way he did with games 5, 6, and 7. Arguably three of the greatest performances, those 3 games, arguably the 3 best finals games of all time in a row. Combining it with the career-defining moment of the block, which will be turned into a statue at some point. That's number one. Big, bold line. After that, you can debate. I agree. I personally would have the Heat as second. I agree with you, Vinny. That was his athletic peak. And what he did to overcome that, the Heatles and everything that was, that was an incredible 4-year period and where he became a champion and, validated himself. Then he did win a championship with the Lakers. And the key thing about this, guys, when you think about LeBron's Lakers tenure, you have to understand they had missed the playoffs for 6 straight years when he got there. They had 6 straight losing seasons. They were in the absolute tank. He rose them back up and put a star back on the court. he got them the star on the court. And then the first, he won 2 MVPs in his first time with the Cavs. He obviously was a very powerful force, but those years ended in failure. And so I can't put that anything but fourth, even though I have great personal memories of those years.
All right, I'm going to take that big, bold line that Wendy has, and I'm going to just put a little eraser in it, just squiggly, because I'm agreeing with Vinny in terms of the Heat being at the top here. Sorry, Wendy, because to me...
because you're a Golden State supporter and you don't like the idea of putting the Golden State thing in there. Let's just get that out right up front.
I don't know what you're talking about, Wendy. These are accusations. I don't know where these are coming from. For me, though, I was going based on the best player that I saw, more so than the historical ramifications. And for me, the Miami Heat, we're talking about that LeBron James. The gap between him and everybody else in the league was never wider than when he was with that Miami Heat team. When you're looking at him and the things that he did, this dude jumped off the screen as the best player in the world during that Heat time. And 2 championships. You cannot argue with that. And that is also where LeBron James went from great player to champion. You're beating the Spurs. You're beating OKC. He had the failure at the beginning, and then you overcame that. That is an incredible feat. Then after that, I would definitely put that Cleveland Cavaliers, that second stint, because of that championship run. But also, what we do forget about that, there was that 2018 playoff run where LeBron James took that ragtag group to the finals where nobody expected him to do that, and he dominated the entire Eastern Conference and basically shut down the Eastern Conference by himself. After that, this is where me and Vinny diverge a little bit. I got to go with the Lakers, because when you're talking about that first Cavs stint versus the Lakers, like the first Cavs stint is we were seeing things we had never seen before. But the things he did with the Lakers, we are never going to see a player this old doing these things ever again. The way that he did. He won a championship with the Lakers in a way that we had never seen. This was not a ready-made franchise when he got there, as you guys mentioned. This was not a good franchise, and he brought a championship there, broke Kareem's record there. He is, again, this is another Hall of Fame career with the Lakers. And after that is the Cleveland LeBron, never won a championship, ended kind of disgracefully and ended as bad as possible there, which was why you kind of put that at the bottom. But that would be my list.
They're entitled to be wrong. It's okay.
But, all right, so on your list, I want to follow up with you on this, because you have Heat, second Cavs stint, first Cavs stint. You've got the Lakers fourth. You did win a championship with the Lakers. How much of your thought process there was that it was more than just the basketball with LeBron? Because when he went out to Los Angeles, this was about LeBron Inc. LeBron becoming the brand that he was as a basketball player, but expanding that into the entertainment space in ways that we didn't see when it was solely about basketball elsewhere.
No, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of those other 3 versions are so great. I don't look at this as a demerit for him, at least from my standpoint. Like, I don't look at the bubble necessarily as a demerit. I look at the way he was able to carry that franchise after the untimely death of Kobe Bryant. Like, I was in Philadelphia with LeBron when he passed Kobe on the all-time list. And the next day, Kobe Bryant passed. Like, he was carrying the weight of that franchise in that moment. I don't give him a mark against that. I just think the athletic freak of the 22-year-old who went to the NBA Finals, the 2-time MVP, the Lakers weren't a great organization, but the Cavs were no gold standard of any damn thing when he showed up. He had to raise the standard of the Lakers knew of a standard. They couldn't get there. The Cavs had 0 standard until he got there.
Yeah, I mean, again, Wendy, you're right. These are champagne problems. We're arguing about which Hall of Fame stint of a Hall of Fame player, arguably the greatest player of all time, where it stands among the others, and there will be a fifth